Then there's JamesRandi. Oh, the star of all con men. He is the king of con men. Claims there's nothing supernatural in the world, and he says, "I'll give you $1 million if you can prove it." So this challenge, when David Copperfield told me he had godly powers, I thought, well, I can probably use that as evidence, not just for my patent, but also for the JamesRandi case. Well, I don't know why it took me so long to actually bring a lawsuit against him. I was weary about actually submitting to the challenge. Something in the contract sort of gave me indication that it would sort of nullify a legal case. So I thought my only remedy was to initiate a case. And for some reason, I waited nearly 2 years to do this, at least a year. It was over a year. And so I filed it in November of 2006, and it got served, and let's see, about January, January of 2007, there was a response, and they're basically saying, hey, they're trying to dismiss it because there's not enough what they call minimum contacts. You need to have, in a federal case, you got to have enough contacts to take. He's in Florida. In order for me to sue in Minnesota, he has to have minimum contacts in Minnesota. So I provided this in the response and said, listen, he's got 2 offices. They got 2 key offices located here, and one's in St. Cloud, the other one's in the cities. And I said, he's got contacts here. He's making phone calls. He's got people, agents all over the world assigned to check out this supernatural crap that people allege. So, anyways, but once again, that one got dismissed. And but when I was during the reply, it was like they were having trouble responding in the reply. It was that they were actually like 5 days late in the response, and I was wondering if I was just going to be sort of if I was going to win by what they call it. Forget the word. 1 second. It's called default judgment. Anyways, if they don't respond, if they don't want to respond to the case, and you win. So, anyways, it took them a while. I don't know, it's about 5 days late, I guess, or something like that. Anyway, so I started to get, well, what's up with that, right? And it came back. It wasn't even a motion to dismiss. It wasn't a motion to dismiss. It was an answer. What happens after you do the normal route they do is they put a motion to dismiss, and for my case, the judges always dismiss it. If it gets past that, it's what I call first base. And then what you do is you go into discovery. So I was going into a discovery phase. So I'm like getting excited. I'm like, geez, I'm going to get some answers from this guy. I can write the questions you write up for this discovery is called an interrogatory. It's written questions, and you say, so I got a list of 20 questions or so, and I'm asking him some really juicy stuff. So with these 20 questions, anyways, I'm thinking this is great. I mean, I don't even have to worry about the motion to dismiss. Hey, I'm past first base. I can get some questions. I can get some questions answered. Cool. And by the way, the way discovery works also is they really don't have to answer much in there either. They come up with these sort of canned phrases that basically say, F you. I don't want to answer your crap. So even in discovery phase, you're not really going to you may not get a whole lot from it. It's really quite a joke. Anyways, but so anyways, these questions, those were submitted on February 6th of 2007, and so I'm like getting excited. I'm like, cool. This is well, my psychic senses were then telling me within hours. They were trying to put in answers that were basically the BS, the FU roller, answers that say nothing. And they were trying to submit that back into me to a fax, and they were like hitting the submit button, and it wouldn't go into the fax machine. It would just get jammed or something. and they were going, oh crap, oh no, we can't submit this crap through roller. We have to answer this stuff. And so they put some answers, and it was bull crap, and so it's not just nothing or the BS, but they actually put in, no, we didn't try to kill you, Chris Roller, and they would submit that too, and it's like that wouldn't work either. So they're like, oh no, we got to actually submit true answers. You got to be kidding me. So this is what my psychic senses were telling me. So and then what happened? It was that night. I submitted that around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and to his office, and they, like I said, they were doing this stuff in my psychic senses. And then that night, I was at Benchwarmer Bob's, and the lady, that Lisa Nowak, that astronaut that wore diapers, and that sort of she's going to find her rival in that love triangle. Well, that was the night. Somebody told me at the poker table that this had just occurred, and I believe it was actually at that moment, around 6. No, it was about 7 o'clock. That was actually right about that time when people were trying to take me out from behind or something in Benchwarmer Bob's. And it must, and usually these hits have a side effect, which are school shootings and people die. But this was the first one in which it was really funny, a funny incident, and nobody died. But it didn't dawn on me at that moment that a hit occurred. I noticed some weird that people sort of like look at me like this, or it's like you got to kind of watch their eye movements, and they almost look over here at something like something's over there, and it's a little elusive. But anyways, I guess it was. I got home after that poker, and I realized that, or the next morning I realized that there was a hit on me. The Lisa Nowak thing was a big deal. When I got home and saw the TV, I realized anyways, it was also it was a big collaboration when I realized that Benchwarmer Bob's has shut down their doors that night, and they'd never reopened. It was, I don't know what was it about that hit that was so inspiring that it had to shut down an entire restaurant and all its staff and everything, literally forever. So far, they haven't opened up, and it's been a year and a half now. So see, what happened is the attorney that I sent those questions to is Osland, Osland and Associates or something. Anyways, they were so mesmerized by the fact that they couldn't lie to me, and that they figured they got to kill me. So I mean, that's what happened. We got to kill this guy. And so I was noticing. So from this, I realized that I had an inkling that nobody could lie to me under oath, and I'm thinking, wow, that's powerful. Also, I noticed there was some control mechanisms. Osland, the attorney, couldn't even get they were having trouble getting a motion to dismiss submitted. Osland had warned me to drop this thing, otherwise I'm going to get sanctions, and we're just going to put a motion to dismiss, and you're going to get sanctions, right? Well, that's true. They tried to sanction me for $25,000 for filing a lawsuit in which I'm supposed to get $1 million. Where's the justice in this world? I'm getting sanctioned for trying to get money that's due to me, you know. Anyways, Osland was having the hardest time getting this motion to dismiss submitted. It actually went literally to the last day, and my psychic senses were telling me they were trying all kinds of alternative routes in order to get it submitted. And even, they can do it via electronically into the it's called ECF, electronic submission into the docket, and they were trying it manually at the courthouse counter. They couldn't do it, so they had to actually give it to the judge. I believe it was actually to the judge, and so literally the last day possible to get this thing submitted. And then, of course, the judge says, "Yep, motion dismissed." Actually, it was even worse. Not only was there was a little bit of a meeting that we had to go to in the judge's chambers, and he says, "Yeah, because of the motion dismissed, we're going to stay the discovery. So now I'm not going to get my questions answered." So what has happened is it's sort of a reverse effect. I got to second base, and now I had to go back and learn my way back to first base. So now I have to get past the motion to dismiss, and of course that's not going to happen because I'm roller. So so it did get dismissed, but in the process, I realized that he couldn't lie to me under oath, and I thought this is really this is powerful. I mean, at the time I thought this is really powerful. I mean, if you can't lie to me under oath, I'm golden. I'm going to win something here. So anyway, so my patent had just been published, and I thought I had patent provisional rights, patent infringement rights. So I sued JamesRandi for that second time, this time I put in there, this is a challenge, JamesRandi. I want you, he has a challenge to prove the supernatural exists. And my challenge to him, I said, listen, in the reply, anywhere in the reply, just put in there, Chris Roller is not God. Otherwise, it's true. And I put a bunch of other allegations in there too. Anyways, so this was the big one. I was kind of curious, am I God or what? What is going on with me? So I'm going to find out. I'm going to have JamesRandi tell me I'm not God, and then I'll believe him. Otherwise, it's true. All he has to do is say the sentence, Chris Roller is not God. Okay? So that was filed on February 22nd, 2007, and a month later, it got served, and a month later, one second. Yes, a month later, March 22nd, a little bit before that, it got the reply came. It's you get 20 days to reply. You serve it, and then 20 days to come back, and so in about a month, you find out. So here it is. The answer, the reply is there, and I'm scared to look. I'm scared to look in there and find out what it says. I literally waited, I think, a day or two to take a look, because I'm just like, please don't let the statement be in there, because it's not just about this God thing, whether I'm God. It's about whether they can't lie to me under oath. I mean, that's the huge thing. So I wasn't quite sure, so I peeked in there. I was like cautious, I was like, oh. Well, then I eventually started looking real hard, and it's not in there. It's not in there. Now I'm God. Now I'm next thing I'm like high as can be, right? Well, then that's when the fireworks started. So everybody and their brother is now pissed off that they can't lie under oath, and they're just like, we got to kill this guy really quick, really. It's just everybody can taste it, So and they couldn't physically do it. They couldn't do it. So what they would do is get my food. They would every meal I ate that I ate out, every meal was laced with some kind of crap. It was like some of it was tasting bad. I mean, it was like it was a combination of tasting bad, but it was just like the look in their eyes of the waitress or something that would serve me. I mean, I went to places that I'd never been to before to try to make sure to see what would happen, and all of them, it's like they all know who I am. Everybody knows who I am, and it's not like they're saying "F you, Roller, you die, you mother effer." They're just this look in their eye is saying, this look in their eye that says, "You must die." MFer. They don't say it. They just look in their eye, and I mean, the submissions that was the start. I mean, that was the start of a 2 or 3 month journey of everybody just trying their best to end me with food. They couldn't do it physically. They couldn't do anything to me, really. But it was like all in the food, and that wasn't really happening. And yet there were some things that was like it was happening. Because, for instance, the lawyer Oslin couldn't submit something into the docket. He couldn't click the damn button to submit it into the docket electronically. So what he would do is he would tell my apartment complex here Raven Hill. But they would tell people. I would go get a cookie at Raven Hill. I'd go to the office, get a cookie and some coffee. And I would come out of there, and I would realize I drank it and ate it, and I realized that it was laced with something, because all of a sudden, they got something submitted. They were having the hardest time getting something submitted into the docket. And then when I eat something like that, it's all of a sudden they can click the submit button and it's entered, and then everybody's happy again. It's a really frustrating deal. It's got to be frustrating to these people trying to do something, trying to open a door up or something. They can't do it, because it's some kind of physical lock, or can't click the button on their computer that submits the electronic docket into electronic document into the docket. So I was calling this doping or poisoning, and doping is sort of a drug, sort of a psychotic drugs to stop whatever I'm just to either kill me or just to affect me somehow. And then there's the whatever poisons that are out there that, and I've probably had a dose of everything that's out there. But so this poisoning and doping, it was strange because it was like I wasn't dying, I wasn't keeling over and dying, but yet there were things like the submission of doctor. They can now click the button whenever I got doped of some sort, of doped or poison. So it was weird. It's like it's not happening, and yet it is. It's very. It's not exactly quite sure at this point what happened. Otherwise, it could be a spiritual thing where it's affecting my spirituality of some sort and knocking me off kilter or something. But I mean, these people are actually physically lacing this stuff with poison and dopes, and I'm not really physically dying, or it makes you wonder what's going on, right? So I'm at I go to Bunny's restaurants up in the west suburb of Minneapolis, and this would be a day after I found out that I was God, okay? And wowee. I didn't realize just how bad my death tasted to everybody, because it would hit home big time. I walk into Bunny's and there's a bunch of Gators there, Florida Gators. It's an alumni get together for, I think it was basketball. It was a sporting event, whatever's in the spring, in March. I think that's basketball, yeah. And watching the game, and I'm eating a salad. One second. It was kind of interesting. This guy named Craig, he runs the UF Northwoods Gator Club there. And, there's a question. I was telling him, well, should I get this or this? The salad, or should I get this? Anyways, and it's almost as though they knew I was going to ask that, because it was like some kind of thing. It says, well, if he gets the salad, he's a dead man. If he gets the taco salad, he's going to be okay. If he gets the salad, he's the damn devil, and we need to kill his ass with some damn good poison. So I ordered the salad. It was like toss-up. I couldn't decide. I had salad, and they almost looked relieved. That's what we wanted to hear, Chris. That's what we wanted to hear. Okay, so I get the salad, and I think the poison was in the dressing. I had two cups of it, whatever, and I put it in there. And it was interesting watching everybody watching me eat. It wasn't like everybody. It wasn't like very obvious. It was just, and I get a third of the way done, and they're maybe a quarter or a third of the way done. They're wondering how come how come they're not getting dizzy or something. I don't know. There was something damn good in that. There's something. Wonder if some kind of. I think there was enough poison to kill 2 horses in that dressing. Because I tell you, they were just in utter shock. They were this look of utter disbelief. And even some comments, hey, you ate it all, something like from Craig or some, but it was just a look in their eyes. Oh my God, from the waitresses and everybody. You didn't die? You're still alive. I cannot believe it. I cannot. They didn't say this. They were just, the look in their eye was just, it said it all. It wasn't just one person. It was about 5. And I told Craig, hey, good meal. But it was something. Craig had said something. Anyways, I think he's got a problem with me knocking up his wife for his second kid or something, and he might feel that I had my way with her or something. Anyways, Craig, he doesn't like me too well. Anyways, it was on the way home. I was like literally. I didn't realize the hit was so bad. I didn't realize it was so juicy filled that I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe this friend of mine, Craig, would do that. And so I was like literally a little bit of tears forming. I mean, I was just like, you can't. I mean, I'm just an emotional mess at this time, right? So I get home and I change shirts, and why not? Let's go out to one second, Fritz's in the Cedar Vale bowling alley in Eagan, Minnesota. So they had karaoke that night there. So I mean, as if I'm not in a mess already. It's like I get there and I meet this lady, and I don't know her name at the moment, but oh goodness, I would just start like just wanted to start talking. Okay, I've been button lipped for quite some time. I'm just keeping to myself. I'm not telling anybody. I'm not talking to anybody about anything, and I'm just being quiet for literally months during these lawsuits. Literally from January to March, people are probably wondering what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and so I just start babbling to this lady. And at first I tell her that this Craig dude just tried to kill me at Bonnie's, and she's being sympathetic. So I just start talking, man. I just start talking about life and all my lawsuits and this God thing. I'd kind of been shut up for a while, so I really didn't talk to anybody about this God thing for some time, like maybe 2 years. So, but I was just a little bit of shock as I was saying everything. I was just spewing everything. I mean everything. At the time, I had some secrets that I thought I'd never reveal. Okay, and I can't remember exactly what they are at this time, but I spit those out, and I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, you just really babbling. You'll just say anything today, won't you?" And I'm telling this lady about the oath. I got making people tell the truth under oath, and what it was I had been hexed. I had been a wish had been applied on me by literally millions of people through whatever connections they got, psychic connections or phone calls or whatever they're doing. They're getting a bunch of people, and if you wish really hard, I'll just start babbling the truth. Okay, it's called I have this wish gene. It's a wish gene, which you just hope for me to go to a grocery store real hard, and I'll get there eventually. I'll get there maybe really quick, but eventually. And what they did is they wished really hard that I would just tell the truth and just start spitting out the truth about all my hidden secrets, and I did. I started saying stuff that I was just like, I cannot believe. When I was done spitting this out, I realized that I didn't want to say that, and then I realized I had just been hexed. I had just babbled off all my secrets to this stranger lady who I suspect is some lawyer. Actually, she says she's some student for pharmacy, but I think she's actually a lawyer. Anyways, I was mad there for a few days. For her doing that for people. What it was when you say I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. What they're meaning is what they mean is that they can apply enough wish power via people or whatever they refer to as their God, whatever the hell that is. Okay, we'll leave that to your imagination. Okay, woohoo. Anyways, you apply enough of that kind of wish power on a person, and you can get them to tell the truth under oath. See, what I'm doing is actually a sort of a power suggestion thing. You can almost think of it as it's a control mechanism in which, but what they're doing is a different version, different flavor of that, in which they're demonstrating it on me. That what my demons were doing. This was a demon I was talking to that night. That's a lawyer, the damn demon. Anyways, what she's basically, it was all set up. I was there to spit out the truth. They were trying to demonstrate what it means to actually tell the truth under oath. And this is how it happens, pal. Not your way, Roller, but our way. This is how we do it, pal. Not your way. Your way sucks, Roller. Anyways, so I will say that was pretty powerful. And I'm telling you what, I spit out stuff that I just never thought I would ever spit out. And I was pissed off for a few days, but I got over it. But I did initiate what I call is the hell wish. I went to karaoke on a Friday, and the day, around noon, I unleashed hell. I just took my demons and I just put them into this. Well, I'll talk about it in another link what this hell thing is, but I unleashed hell that day on my demons for trying to kill me so bad and for making me spit out the truth. I was a little bit angry, and I just wanted to retaliate a little bit. So I'm not sure how I'm splitting this up. You may have to check out another link. I'm going to put as we'll call it the journey, the truth journey, a 2 or 3 month journey. I'll probably have a link for that, describing some of the wild events. But let me get back to the lawsuit here. In this lawsuit with JamesRandi, I'm pretty happy that I'm now God. But the problem is, part of the allegation, one of the allegations I made in the case was on 1 second. Okay, March 21st of 2005, after my in 2005, March 21st. What had happened with JamesRandi is that during the David Copperfield case back in 2005, I had emailed JamesRandi and told him, "Hey man, I'm God," and he sent back some email, and you have to see the email, but it wasn't like threatening or anything, but it was sort of a hint. Why don't you be brave or something? I think what it meant is be brave and step out of my apartment, because that day, my second senses were telling me that somebody was trying to kill me around my apartment. Well, it was like 2 hours later, I get wind on the news. I turn on my news, and the Red Lake shooting has occurred. The Red Lake school shooting up here in Minnesota. So I brought this to attention of the judges that somebody literally died as a result of some JamesRandi trying to kill me. Can I get some money for that, or can we do something about that? And basically, all we got is it's like everything I submit just completely gets ignored. It's like it goes into a garbage can because nobody even acknowledges any of this stuff. In fact, even David Copperfield, even not acknowledging the word godly powers is even a mystery to me, because they don't have to acknowledge anything. They just simply say, "Judge, we'd like it dismissed, and can you make that happen for us?" And judge says, "Sure, yeah, no problem." And F you roller. And they don't literally say F you roller, but that's what essentially happens. It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's your actions that actually says these things that I'm saying. So I'm putting this motion. I put a motion for a summary judgment for the hit, right? I figured my life's worth about $1 trillion. So I think that's a bargain price too. Anyways, but it got dismissed, and no money once again, and bend me over. JamesRandi bent me over. Thank you, pal. May I have another? Anyways, as a result, well, that was a while back. Latest thing I've done is, well, I found out that JamesRandi's ending his $1 million challenge in 2010, probably due to me. He probably realizes eventually I'm going to take his money, but I am doing it in the regular route right now. I've submitted the application, and the reply I got back was the reply is basically it's interesting how people, they actually appear to be very professional, but it's their actions that say "F you, roller." So that's basically what I got from their camp. And it's based on it's not based on like David Copperfield so much as this Truth Under Oath service that I put in place. So I'm having trouble getting the $1 million from Randy because he's a big con man, So James, he's bent me over, but karma exists,